I don't have any sound yet.
Yeah, just grab your name tag.
Almost, I can start hearing something now. Can you turn up a bit more? I can hear murmuring. Are all the mics on?
Oh, it was me. Oh, no. Okay, Leanne, can you hear us?
Barely, yeah. I'll turn up sound on my end.
Should we speak from here or?
I
you-
hear
Sure.
Abe very clearly.
Okay, so, all right, Leanne. How are we doing there?
That's perfect.
Okay. Well, there we go.
Lift off.
All right.
Wonderful. We don't yet have a quorum, so we'll wait just a bit more.
Okay.
And so, but Leanne Valverona will be, well, there she is. She is present and is acting secretary.
Yeah.
See something here. All right. Thank you very much, by the way, Leanne, for your positive answer to my last question there. Looking forward to that. So anyway. All right.
Turn it around.
You know. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a quorum. So. Okay, so there we go. So we do have a quorum, so I will call this meeting to order at 4:32. And there we go. So before we get too far, we have someone with us, which we'll get into a little later, who is destined to be new on our board. However, she's not been sworn in. So as a result, we can't have her sitting up here officially or voting on anything. Not that there's much to vote on, but we do want to make this clear. So as a result, let's go ahead and go around through the table and do a roll call and just introduce yourself. And I guess how long you've been on the board, if you can remember. So.
Yeah, my name's Andy Powers and I'm a board member since, I don't know, a little after Abe.
And what did we decide? I don't remember when I came on the board, but that's okay. All right, go ahead, Jalen.
Okay, Shaylin Charvet Bates, and I believe I've been on the board for 16 years.
Wow.
Yes, and she doesn't look like it, does she? No.
She was 3.
So, yeah. And I am Abe Martinez, and I am currently the chair of the board. And I have been on the board, I think it has been like 10 years. No, probably 9 years, something like that. Anyway, All right.
And I am Emily Stainbrook, and I've been on the board for 2 or 4 years. I don't remember, sorry. I just renewed, so I don't know, is it 4-year terms? So 4 years, thank you.
I'm Mary Dickinson. I'm on city council and very thrilled to be here with y'all.
All right.
Lindsay Hanson from Snow Island. And I have background with Karen,
Okay. And online, do you want to go ahead and tell us who you are?
I'm Leanne Balberona, and I have been on the library board a couple of years now. It's hard to, I was on the board before, and then I took a break, and then I'm back. So I don't know, cumulatively a couple of years. How about that?
Sounds good to me. Okay, and so just so everyone knows, Leanne is is acting as our secretary tonight, and we'll get to that a little bit more later on. Right now, I just want to check and see, has everyone had a chance to read the minutes? Yes, okay. Leanne, I assume that's the same for you.
Yes.
I found the minutes to be very well done. Thank you, Shaylin. And I had no problems or any corrections. Were there anything else? Was there anything else? Leanne?
No.
Yeah.
Nothing to change.
Okay. All right. Well, once again, then I think then by unanimous consent, if we'll just go ahead and you can take note of that, Leanne, that by unanimous consent, we approve the minutes. All right. New business. So as I mentioned, we do have, we have had, and technically still have 2 open seats for the board. We had interviews just last week. And while we had 3 candidates originally, I'm sad to say that a couple dropped out. Otherwise, we would have been able to fill both of those seats. However, having said that, the remaining candidate, I am just thrilled. Her name is Nancy Joao, correct? I said it correct. Joao, if you need that spelling, Leanne. So it's Nancy Joao, correct? Yes. And she will be joining us for our next meeting. She'll be sworn in, or technically brought in by the city council. I think it's next week. So she will be with us there. But at our next meeting, we'll give you a chance to more formally introduce yourself and some of your background. I think it'd be really good. Some of the folks would like to know about your involvement with the city and how long you've been here, that kind of thing. So we're looking forward to it, and we're welcome to the board. We really want to say that. There is still 1 open seat on the board, and I do want to encourage you, if you know of somebody who you think would make a good, member of this board, by all means, get the word out. Let the city know. 1 application. Okay. Yeah, so we could potentially have interviews very soon. I would probably like to have a couple more just to be on the safe side, but doesn't really matter. We can do that just as soon as possible if you like. And that way we've got more room to make sure that everybody can make it, as including the council members who have to be there in the interviews as well. So, okay.
Melissa has just joined us online. I just want to thank that.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, yes, hang on just a moment here. Excuse me. So I'm sorry, who is it that just joined us? Oh, yes, Melissa. Okay, well.
What's that up here?
Hello, hi. I'm having technical difficulties.
Oh,
It
no.
won't let me use my camera and it locked me in. I've been trying to get in for like 15 minutes, so I apologize.
No worries. And listen, I can see you too.
Yep, there we go.
You don't see her.
Okay,
See, well, I see.
yeah, so Leanne, be sure to list Melissa as present for the entire thing, because whether she was there at the beginning or not, I
Got
think
it.
that she made every attempt. So, so we have that. I don't have, I didn't get word from anyone that they would not be attending. Who do we have that would not be here? Wait a second, we got one,
There's Joanne.
5.
Joanne?
Joanne, yeah. I haven't heard from Joanne, so do we have to make a motion? We've not done this in the past.
We've just noted.
Mhm.
Just noted
that
it,
someone's out.
yeah.
Just
Okay, so just for the sake of that, Joanne Van Leuven, and I think you've got the spelling on that from some of our other correspondence. But she is, to my knowledge, I didn't, yeah, she's absent, and I can follow up with her a little later on. Okay. Okay, we have the situation of a board secretary. Acting in that position tonight is Leanne Balberona, who very graciously said yes when I asked her to do that. And I will also say that I also asked her if she would consider having her name put up for taking that position. I don't know if it is appropriate for me to offer her name in nomination for that. I know that it would have to be, someone would have to make a motion to put her name forward. Someone else would have to second, and then we would vote on that. Unless there are other people, other candidates. And I want to be perfectly open and honest in this. Anybody who is wanting to take on that task.
I'll make a motion for Leanne Balberona to be elected as secretary.
Okay, so there you go.
Or
You have
appointed.
Andy Powers has made a motion, so you can note that. Any second?
I'll second.
Okay, there you go, Emily. There you go. So Emily has seconded. And so all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Hi.
You can vote however you like there, I guess. But
I happily offer my services and put forth my name as well. And I'm thankful for your support.
all right. Well, we are looking forward to it, and we thank you so much for stepping forward. It's been something to try to get some new faces in on it as a board position. So, and sort of an executive position, if you will. So thank you so much. We look forward to having you fill that position. All right. So having taken care of that business, let's move on to our reports. My understanding is Melissa Knack will be giving the report for the Friends of the Library. So Melissa, you go right ahead.
Hello, how's everybody doing? I hope well. New year, good start. We have a new president for Friends of the Library. She couldn't be here tonight because she's single momming it. Her dad's a sheriff for the county, or her husband's a sheriff for the county and couldn't be at home to watch the kids. So it will either be Dana Bittinger, our new president, or myself. I'm our secretary now. I like that role a lot better. We're kind of co-presidenting with our vice president. We're going to get this all tied down real nice. And I'm excited to be working with her. She has done so much work since taking on her duties in November. I have a nice long report to give you guys, but I'll try and keep it as short and concise as possible. I think the biggest change to let you guys know about is our meetings. We're going to have quarterly meetings in person. So those will be the same months that you guys meet. And the in-person meetings will be on Fridays at 4:30 in the library. The other meetings that we have during the year are going to be held via Zoom on Monday at noon. And we're hoping having these different meeting times will give people a better opportunity to attend a meeting sometime. And every meeting is hybrid. Even when we're meeting in person, we also have the Zoom option open. Lynn Myers utilized that at our quarterly meeting and it worked really well. So Leanne, I can send you notes if you would like. If I go too fast, just say, hey, send me some notes. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, cool. Our advent calendar sales last year did really well. We brought in just under $3,000. Dana has an advent committee formed now with like six members total. They're working right now to just start brainstorming and making sure it runs really smooth. And we get in there for pre-sales at Aquafest. We're going to continue with the regular Advent, and they're also going to add a 12 days of Christmas Advent option for those that hear about it after Thanksgiving. And those will be pre-wrapped bundles by genre or by age group. And we're also going to offer adult books for that. We're hoping to participate maybe in Harvest Fest, the Winter Fest, and we're going to be at Makers Fair this year to offer those things. We might have some of our baskets at Makers Fair. We'll see how that goes. We are now able to take online payments without a fee, which is great because we did about $3,000 in sales for Advent this year, but we also had about $300 in fees. So Dana has taken care of that. We're going to be running our payments through Zephy now. They essentially ask if you want to donate. Once you're making your purchase, they ask if you want to donate to help cover the charges, but they don't charge us. So we'll be actually getting all the money that people spend with the Friends group, which will be nice. When she did the Zephy, she was also able to create a new website for us. So the website address is friendsoflakestevenslibrary.com. It's not friends of the, it's Friends of Lake Stevens Library. We weren't able to have the in there because it was too long, but I encourage you guys to check out that website. It's really nice and Dana's worked really hard on it. We will be doing, as of now, we're planning on quarterly book sales. Our first book sale will be March 24th and 25th. That'll be the weekend before spring break. We're hoping to get those families that are traveling in there to get some reading material for their kids before they head out on break. We will be doing Aquafest again this year. Some of the changes with Aquafest we're making are we're going to have our Advent people come in and like shop the books before we have Discover come in and pick them up on the Monday after. Last year, we ended up hauling all the books away ourselves, but I'm going to call Discover and have them come in and pick up whatever's left at Aquafest. That way we can start fresh after that sale, which will be great. We'll figure out if we want to do a fall book sale a little bit closer to Aquafest. We'll see what things are looking like and how donations are going. You know, if we end Aquafest and we don't have a lot of donations coming in, we might not do a fall book sale. It's if we have one, it'll be October 21st and 22nd. But at this point, it's on the table as to whether or not we're going to do that. And then we'll be at Makers Fair for a winter sale. And told you about that. A fun thing that we're working on. Thank you, Antoinette, for helping us with this. We are going to start a seed library in the Book Nook. Dana has found an old card catalog that we can put seed packets in instead of library cards. I'm pretty excited about this. We're partnering with Down to Earth Community Gardens. All the seeds are going to be free to us and free to the community. We're going to have little packets so people don't have to take a whole pack of seeds. They can just take what they need. We'll see how it goes. It's, we're going to start it now. And if it's well received, we'll continue. If it seems like it's something that maybe it wasn't the best idea, we'll stop doing it. But it's really exciting that we are allowed to give this a try. So thank you very much, Antoinette, for letting us do that. We're going to try and get out at more festivals this year. Last year, we didn't get out very much. So that's definitely something that we're looking forward to. We have a lot of new members that have joined recently. It's really exciting. A lot of younger moms with kids, and they're all very excited to be helping, which I'm really happy about that. Okay, last thing. I'm almost done, I promise. Money. So we had a great year last year. We had an income of $10,125.49, which is pretty good considering we were just hoping to cover the cost of the storage unit and summer reading, which is nowhere near that. So we ended up in the black, $7,053.66. That being said, when Antoinette came to us and asked for $4,700 in library support for 2023, we absolutely said yes. We didn't see any reason to say no, considering we were $7,000 in the black this year. I don't think $4,700 is going to be something hard to cover. So that pretty much wraps it up.
All
Are
right.
are there any questions?
Melissa, I have a question. Has the
Yes.
fund ever thought of doing a Lake Stevens Education Foundation grant for graduating seniors?
That has been spoken about before. I think the hard part about that is guaranteeing that we will have the funds every year to do that. We certainly have. I can tell you right now, our on-hand balance is just under $40,000. And that's when it, when you have all the CDs and savings added in. But we don't want to start offering something that we can't continue with. But I'm certainly open to bringing that back to the board and discussing it some more because, membership has changed, roles have changed, and there might be a way that we can do this since we seem to have the steady income that we didn't even expect.
Good
So I
question.
will make a note of that, Sheila, and thank you.
All right. By the way, I want to say thank you for the ability to pay for your membership as a friend of the library online. That was very handy to use, very clever use of it. And I thought it was really good. It's not that I don't want to pay my dues, but it's just weird to come down to the library and fill out the little thing every year or whatever it is. And anyway, so I
Thank
just,
you for mentioning that, Abe.
yes, it really, it worked for me. And there is not an absolute expectation that every board member of this board also be, a supporter of, the Friends of the Library, but it's $5 a year. So, anyway, if you
And
can't.
you can get on that. You can get on the website I mentioned, Friends Lake Stevens Library, and there is, if you click on the become a member button, that'll allow you to renew your membership fees online without having to go to the library. That's, you can either become a member or renew online. It's really convenient. Like I said, Dana's been working extremely hard the past few months. I'm not taking credit for all this. I'm just here to tell you guys about it.
Yeah, well, it works really well. So anyway, congratulations on that. And it's great job.
Well, thank you. I'll relay that to Dana.
Okay. All right. Well, you're welcome to stay on with us. You want to hear the reports as we go. All right. If that's all we have, no further questions there
Thanks,
from
Melissa.
Melissa. Yeah. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Good to see you guys. Sorry I couldn't be there. The toddler has passed around the sickness in the house. Yeah. All right. You guys have a good night.
Okay. All right. Other reports then from the managing librarian, please take it however you like.
Sure, I'll kick us off and then hand it over to Antoinette. I have just a brief report today. I wanted to share a little bit about big picture, our Snow Isle strategic goals for 2023. So we continue to have our core strategic goals of enhancing library services, creating inspiring spaces, optimizing library funding, and investing in our people and our organization. So we have some initiatives under each that I'll just briefly share about, and happy to answer any additional questions if there are any. Under enhancing library services, we are currently engaging with a consulting group to assess how well we are doing at our vision, which of course is everyone is connected to their library. So we've just begun that process, but we're really excited to have some outside expertise to help us understand, what's going well and maybe some areas that we could better connect with our communities and better serve our communities. So that'll be really exciting, and the results of that will probably inform work for years to come. So we're all pretty eager to get that underway. We also are currently investigating expanded library access, which means a lot of different things. So we consider, our Holds lockers that we have in Monroe and Camino Island to be expanded library access. We're currently looking at other options for additional locations that we could potentially add that and what that would look like. Another thing that we're looking at is how we can make part or all of our libraries available after hours when staff are not there. So other library systems in the country and the world have done this. It's really interesting and exciting. Copenhagen is a big library that has done that, but we also have some locally in Washington State. So this could look like customers being able to access our meeting room after hours if there's an outside entrance, and be able to, have a group meeting or something like that when staff aren't there. So it really increases our ability to serve our customers beyond when we're able to have staff there. It could also look like having access to the library when staff aren't there. So this could look a bunch of different ways. There are different kinds of software and setups that we could explore. Right now, we're looking at pilot projects in some of our community libraries, and then considering this in our new library remodels. So the software can involve, security features and special access that customers have to gain in order to have this privilege. So still early days, but it's pretty exciting, and we're just continuing to look for every opportunity to better serve our communities and better improve their access to our libraries. So that's exciting. Under our initiative or goal for creating inspiring spaces, we have a lot of exciting projects. I won't steal any updates about Lake Stevens from Antoinette, but of course that is paramount. We also have 2 remodels coming up in Langley and Darrington. Those remodels are supported by state grant funding, so we're really excited to get those underway. There are active plans that we're pursuing and getting approval from local cities and community members. So those are going to be pretty amazing. We also are looking at some smaller updates and remodels in some of our other libraries that are much needed, such as improving the flooring in Mill Creek Library and things like that. We continue to look for ways to optimize our library funding. So we're this year really focusing on ensuring the long-term stability of our budget and our budgeting process. We also are very much looking into how we can grow our non-property tax funding. So we're looking at other avenues for funding beyond relying on that. Our last strategic goal is invest in our people and our organization. So we're continuing to expand our equity, diversity, and inclusion training for our staff. Right now, all staff have received a baseline training, and we'll be looking at expanding upon that. We also are working on updates for our parking lots for safety and security, just to make sure that our spaces are as welcoming as possible. Our board of trustees is currently reviewing all of the board level policies, and making any necessary changes and reapproving all of those. So those will be fresh and new coming up. Lastly, I wanted to mention that Snow Isle has made a sustainability commitment. So this really has to do with our partnerships and communities and how we can serve our community members in times of crisis. But also in how we can be more sustainable as an organization. So the statement comes first and the work comes after. So now we'll be working to make all that happen. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have about any of that. And if
Hi.
none now, you know where to find me or Antoinette. So,
That's
but I'll hand it over to Antoinette.
I have one
Yeah.
question that you
please.
may or may not be able to answer, but I'm sure that much of this was discussed or in the context of the meetings, trustees meetings.
Yeah,
And I was looking online at the minutes from the meetings. And, you know, I mean, you can get something from minutes, but I really was looking for more of the heart of the conversations, and I couldn't find them, what I was looking for. And I was just wondering, I assume that the trustee meetings are also hybrid, or?
we are working toward that. So you probably are aware because of your role on the board here that there's state law that if you had meetings prior to the pandemic that were in person, they need to continue to be in person and online. Right now, our Board of Trustees meet in our community libraries, and not all of our libraries have a hybrid meeting infrastructure set up, but we are working to install that in all of our meeting rooms at Snow Isle. So, and this also means that we're going to be starting hybrid programming, which is also very exciting for us.
Sure.
So the ability to do that. So Abe, it's coming, it's not here yet. Although we have a board meeting on Monday, and I think they'll have it set up. It's in Montlake Terrace, but I think we'll have a hybrid capability. I don't know for sure. I will check into that. And I can
Well,
email you.
and more to the point is actually, is it recorded? Because as a point of view, I mean, obviously many people can't do it.
Yeah.
And that's just whether people want to follow up and look at our meetings, as dry as they may be, they're there and they're available. So, and that, anyway, so it's
Yeah.
a definite benefit.
Sure about that, actually.
Yeah.
I will follow up and let the board know.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that would be very helpful if they did,
Yeah.
especially if they're already, doing the hybrid version, just a recording that's publicly available. I mean, I thought that it was required by law, honestly, because of the fact that it's recorded, that it would have to then be accessible to any taxpayer funded organization. But nonetheless, it would be handy. So that's all.
I hear you.
So-
Yeah, I just don't know the details of that.
Okay.
It may be, but
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much, and follow up if you can, and
I
however you
will
would.
absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I have. Anybody else?
There's one more.
All right, we're doing good.
Hi everyone, Happy New Year. I wish I could say that my report was short, but it's not. We've got a double pager today. So I can hit the highlights for you, but we've had a really
Time out, just a moment. I just want to be sure that Leanne knows. You can take notes, but she'll have a lot here, and she will, I'm sure, email these to Leanne if you don't have her email address.
I'll email it out right now. So I sent it to Kelly at the last meeting. We decided I would send it to Kelly, but I'm happy to change that
Oh, no,
to
no.
emailing it. I just want to follow the rules.
That'll work. That'll work. It's
Okay.
probably better, more official if she sends it out, actually, now that I
That
think
way
about
I'm
it.
not doing anything illegal.
Okay. But Leanne, you will have that, so you can just attach that rather than have to write everything out again. So I just wanted to be sure that you knew that now before you.
Before I start going.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
So we've been incredibly busy at the library. It's been fantastic. As you all know, we were able to welcome families back for weekly in-person storytime programs. We started that in the fall. We have weekly little science labs. That was this morning. So it gets really rowdy in the library on Thursday mornings. Come on by with your preschoolers. But in the fourth quarter of 2022, we also featured a family story time on a Saturday. Our children's librarian, Jordan Ritchie, presented a story time featuring stories about the construction of new libraries. That was just to get families excited about the work that's happening on the property out there. We had families come in and they had a bunch of different sensory playtime after the story time involving, we did construction painting and all kinds of things. So it was a really great time. We also had a handmade card making program and attended reading night at Stevens Creek Elementary. We still have our Chili Penguins self-directed program up. We put some paper penguins up on a beautiful mountain landscape. Our roving, our LA at large, Cara Freeburn put those up. So kids can decorate a paper sweater and we tape it to a penguin up on top of the wall. So it's really cute there. We've continued extensive outreach to the Lake Stevens School District. Our librarian, Jana Minix, was able to connect with the principal of HomeLink and the Lake Stevens School District Director of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. So we're providing information, support, and resources there, attending the meetings for the HomeLink instructors and just letting them know that Snow Isle is here to support our educators. In December, I gave a presentation to the Lake Stevens Kiwanis just about library resources and to touch base with that group. And this is just a reminder, if you have any community groups that would like a presentation about library resources, I'm happy to do it. It's super fun. Always remind people of stuff they didn't know that Snow Isle does, what they can do with their library card. So please keep that in mind. We're happy to do that. I also wanted to give just a little fun recap, some 2022 statistics out of the Lake Stevens Library. We had 47,701 in-person visitors in 2022. We had 91,295 checkouts, with the highest being in August. So August is a big time for reading. And then the library card registrations, we had 13,307 new library card registrations. That was the most of any Snow Isle library. Wow. So the Lake Stevens Library, part of that is the onboarding of the student card. So that happened in March. But even with that, we are right up there with the bigger libraries. So I think that really shows the interest that the community has in using the library and just becoming more aware of the things that the library can do for them and all of the great things that your library card can do for you. So that's our
quick question. Yeah. I'll catch on this now, just in case you have it. The in-person visitors, that seems a pretty significant number. Is that, I assume that's up quite a bit given,
I did not check that, but I totally can check that and get back to you.
That's fine.
Yeah, we'll need to look at far back because this was our first full year in the new space.
That's right.
We weren't fully open the year before because of the pandemic. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, but yeah, we can definitely get that for you.
Okay.
Like
yeah.
2019 would probably be the last full year of operating.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that kind of covers our 2022 recap, and then moving into 2023. So over the last couple of months, staff have been working so hard. They've been doing such a great job putting together a comprehensive plan for the 2023 library programs. And this is in alignment with Snow Isle's new programming strategy. The programming strategy highlights diverse, inclusive programming, connecting with community partners, local experts, meeting customers where they are, so bringing programs outside the boundaries of the library, and coordinating with nearby libraries as well. So our 2023 in-person programming plan includes quarterly all ages programming that we're going to be hosting at off-site locations. Part of that is because the size of our meeting room does not allow for a large scale program, but it also gives us a really great opportunity to do fun programs out in places like the Senior Center. So our first quarterly program is going to be at the Senior Center. We've invited the Woodland Park Zoo to come, and they're going to be bringing a few animals and talking about how they care for the animals. It's all ages. It's on a Friday afternoon. And that'll be in Friday, February 24th. In addition to the quarterly all ages programs, we'll be offering monthly all ages programs at the library. Our first one will be January 21st, Color in the New Year, and it'll be a group coloring project. We'll also be doing monthly family story times on Saturdays. So in January, we did a Winter Wonderland theme. Friday, we'll be doing a Lunar New Year family story time, and March will be Welcoming Spring with Holy. So this is a wonderful opportunity for those families who can't attend a story time during the week. We want to make sure that we have a weekend story time that they can attend. So those will be happening monthly. Our weekly programming will continue. So we'll have baby and toddler story times and little science lab for preschoolers. In addition to the in-person programming, our online programming continues. Snow Isle is doing a fantastic job providing a really robust schedule of online programming. They recently just added a weekly Russian story time for kiddos. So we're doing a lot with our bilingual programming online as well, and we're really able to reach a broad audience that way. We have online craft and chat, talk time, and book clubs. Lake Stevens staff host all of those, as well as staff across the Snow Isle system. If you haven't checked it out already, we're bringing in New York Times bestselling authors. Friedrich Bachman was just speaking, so that'll be, I think that was recorded and is on our website. So we've got some really amazing speakers coming through that online programming, and it's a wonderful opportunity, especially if you can't make it. You can always watch it on our YouTube channel. We have also applied for, or any questions about programming? I'm transitioning a little bit. I just want to take a break. Okay. We've also applied for a Washington Humanities Grant to bring primetime programming to Lake Stevens. This is the first opportunity we've had to have this program in Lake Stevens. It's been wildly successful in other communities throughout Snohomish and Island counties. The program brings in a professional scholar and storyteller, and the library's role is to coordinate with a local school. So we're coordinating with Stevens Creek Elementary School. They identify a cohort of families. We're aiming for 20 families to come together for a 6-week program. The program involves reading books together and teaching the families how to talk about books together, how to ask your children questions, how to engage them with the reading and get them really inspired and excited about reading. The families also come together and they share dinner. So they have dinner and conversation. The families become really close over this 6 weeks. It's a wonderful, wonderful program. Part of the program this year is asking for community sponsors to help out with the dinner portion. So if there are any local organizations, local restaurants or companies that you know of that would like to contribute, please let us know. We're looking for dinner sponsors for 6 weeks. They could do one dinner, part of a dinner. We're taking financial donations or full meal donations. So anybody wants to cook meals for 20 families, if you got like a really nice spaghetti recipe, please let me know. And then I wanted to just touch on the site clearing and updates about the future library. So in December, we began a competitive bidding process to clear the buildings on the new library site. The contracting process has been completed and North End Excavating Incorporation, which is located in Granite Falls, has been selected. I just found out today that they toured the site today, and we will be getting on their calendar as soon as possible to get those homes and outbuildings cleared, and then we can really dig into site preparation. Building work is currently working on a site plan, which will provide the basic layout of where the library building, the parking, and then the outside areas will be located on the lot. The project team is working closely with the Snohomish County Conservation District for help with planning ways to incorporate the wetland space into learning opportunities and programming opportunities for the community. And the future Lake Stevens Library page will continue to be updated. So I've added the link there. On that page is also a link to sign up for the email newsletter. So if you haven't done that already, you can sign up for that email newsletter, and then all of these updates you'll get in real time. You won't have to wait until our quarterly meetings. So you'll know them ahead of time. But that's a great resource there, and will continue to be updated throughout the project. So that's where we are with the future Lake Stevens Library site. Any questions about anything that I've gone over so far?
I do have a question about the site. Do we know yet, has Building Work or anybody given an idea of the square footage, what will be included? You know, we talked about that you don't have the space for some of these larger programs. Will the new library have the space for those those programs?
So that's part of what the site plan is determining how large of a building can fit on the site with coordination of that wetlands buffer. So that's part of what they're working on now. So they do have a preliminary plan. It's going through the phases right now of approval, and that should be available for announcement, you know, once all of those things have been approved. So right now we're at the phase where they're looking at the property, deciding how many parking spots we need for how big of a library can fit, while also still respecting that wetland buffer, and then also combining that with our budgeting process. So it's a little bit of a lengthier process because there's so many different components to it, but that's the stage that they're working on now.
Okay, that's good to hear. And one other question, and I not expecting you to know the exact answer, but if you have it, great. Is there any coordination with the city on this? Just because I'm still concerned about the issue that, with the adjacent land, that there might be the possibility of, parking stuff, because the more that you can coordinate parking, the more building can be built. So is there any coordination at this point in time with the city, or do you know anything about that?
My understanding is that the capital projects team is in communication with the city, and not just for, our things like permitting, but also for the status of that property. So as the city moves through their decision-making process for what they're going to be doing with that property, we are in communication with them and have let them know that we're happy to continue working with them on that project if that's a possibility.
Okay, that's good to hear. Can I back up just a little bit and ask some questions on other things?
Sure.
And by the way, I welcome a question. Please go right ahead.
Okay, I do, when you have the date of literally having the machinery there and tearing something down, would you please pass that date along to us? I would really appreciate just an email. I don't want to wait for a snow aisle to send their general email. I would like to know personally, because I think that those of us that have been waiting could literally, I will take the day off and be there to see that shovel. So,
Absolutely.
please.
So I am on the project management team, and we have a comprehensive communications plan. All of your names are at the top of the list. So I will be calling you and letting you know as soon as we have that date. We had hoped to have it by this meeting, but just with schedules and contracting and everything, it didn't happen. But you're at the top of the list. And then we'll also have marketing and communications that are going out to community members. There are going to be sandwich boards at the intersection that say, hey, this is happening. So all of that communication, we've already sort of front loaded all of that, ready to go. We're just waiting to plug the date in, and then we're going to start communicating. So absolutely.
And then the other thing I'll say is, I got the opportunity to do the prime time in Snohomish a few years ago, and it was an amazing program for my school, and then to partner with the library. So I am really glad that you're able to bring it to Lake Stevens, because it is a phenomenal. It is a top-notch program. So
yeah, we're
glad
really
you guys got
excited
it.
about it. It's our first year. So there's, the bumps of that learning curve, but our children's librarian, Jordan Ritchie, is on top of it. And we're just so excited about the partnership with Stevens Creek. So I really think it's going to be a fantastic program.
Okay.
Good.
Well, that's really good to hear. I was going to ask about that because I didn't understand, and maybe I can just talk with you, Shaylin, to get my questions answered. But for the sake of anybody else that may wonder, so where is this done? Like at a home? 28 families. I can't imagine that.
Oh, it'll be at Stevens Creek Elementary,
Oh,
using
okay.
their cafeteria.
Yeah. Okay. And then the books that are they children's books, or are they?
They're children's books. The curriculum is provided by Humanities Washington. They
Right.
provide us the books, and then Snow Owl also supplements the sum of that. And then so there are 3 books each week. So the families take home 3 books, and then the next week they return the 3, and then they get another 3. So there's like a blue bag, red bag situation where we trade them off. And so then they're able to take them home, to read them. They bring them back, they have the discussion, and then we swap out.
Wow. Okay. Well, good. I will find out more from Shaylin as we go about. And then I just had one other, maybe it's a silly question here, but when you were talking about offsite programs and this thing with the Woodland Park Zoo, that's going to be at the senior center. So is it something for the seniors, or is it children going to the senior centers, or is it open to everybody? What is it?
It's open to everybody. There is a cap. So the senior center capacity is 75 people. So we are opening registration, and we encourage people to register. But it's going to be inside. The animals can be inside. So the animals that they're bringing are indoor animals. And it's open to everyone. And so the senior center has been an amazing partner, and is really looking to bring more folks of all ages into the senior center. And I don't want to speak for them, but they have some really great programming going on. You can check their calendar. But they've been a fantastic partner. We've been working with them throughout the year. And this is just one of those opportunities where we can bring an all ages program together and reach a demographic. The seniors that go to the senior center don't necessarily make it all the way to the library. And so this is a wonderful opportunity for us to bring a fun program to them, to a place where they already go. And so it's open to all ages, but really nice for us to connect with the seniors that are using the senior center.
Wonderful. Okay. Good to hear. All right.
I've got
Yep,
one little chunk left if we're ready to.
absolutely.
okay,
You're
so
doing good.
I just wanted to highlight a couple of things from Snow Isle. So the Snow Isle Libraries Foundation has been awarded a generous grant from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. We got a 2-year, $100,000 grant that'll provide general operating support that we're going to be using to continue early literacy efforts and programs with a focus on social justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. So that's just a wonderful, a wonderful get for our foundation. We're really happy with that. And then I brought a little show and tell, which am I allowed to pass something out at the meeting? So Snow Isle Libraries just redesigned. They're technically for kids, but I got a new one because they're super cute. They just redesigned their library cards. So we have 6 new designs. They have all different themes, cute little monsters, little foxes reading. So I brought them for you guys to take a look at if you've lost your library card or if you need a new library card, or if you just want to lose your library card because you want one of the cute library cards, you can come on down and get them. I think it's particularly helpful for families because now each kiddo can have their own design, and so that you know which card belongs to which kiddo. Although we have had multiple families where all the kids want the same one, so we're not really solving a problem there, I guess. But please come on down, get yourself a new card, come to any of our programs. We'd love to see you. But that wraps it up for me, unless there are any other questions.
Okay, now you got a question for me about the card,
Yeah.
because I've always been afraid about replacing my very beat up old card here, because it's like, okay, so if I change my number, does that get rid of all of the history, number one, and then, all my, what happens?
We can merge your accounts.
Okay.
So if you have like items checked out on Overdrive or, like any of your Overdrive holds, we can merge those accounts. You do get a new number.
Okay.
So if you have your number memorized, you're not going to want to get a new card. I get that because it's hard to memorize a new 400-digit number. So you will get a new number, but we can merge your account.
Okay.
So you won't lose, you won't lose your place in line with anything.
Okay, that's what I was wanting to know. So, okay, sounds good to me. And I assume that the digital, things like the Snow Isle app and everything would update to the new card number and
Yes,
everything else. Yeah, okay, very good. Well, excellent, great report. I appreciate that. Whoa. All right, so report from the city. I don't know. Would you like to do that report from the city?
That would be me.
Well,
Yeah.
that would be you. All
I'm
right.
afraid so. So I wanted to ask Antoinette, is it going to be a 1-story building, correct?
We don't know.
Oh, we still don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, we still don't know. Just an elevator would be expensive, that's all I know.
Probably, yeah.
I
I'm
know
not a
that.
construction person, but that seems
No, I
that
know
seems
that,
like a
but
big.
I
deal,
just was
yeah.
wondering.
But that's part of the site plan and what they're
Right.
deciding right now.
So I think that the library's done a phenomenal job reaching out to the conservation district because somebody was a pest. I won't name anybody, but somebody said, please reach out to them. They might help. And that's been great to see that that's working. The land at Chapel Hill. This room was full of people to talk about what was going to happen to that land. And I want to say how proud I was to see all of them there. Some of them are here. But it was just amazing to hear that. Working with the senior center, the library, I think she was at the library maybe a week, 2 weeks, when she heard that the senior center needed help with computers. And suddenly she said, oh, well, we can take care of that and it's free. So they sent somebody up to the senior center to give training. And I have to tell you, I think the women were in love with the person that came. But apparently they really wanted to keep it. But and working with kids, that because I'm the liaison for the senior center board, of course I am. Anyway, we're trying to make that connection, and the fact that the library is part of that is beautiful. It's just wonderful. And the Kiwanis Club, the other thing you talked about with the I always want to say something different, Stevens Creek Elementary School. I thought it was 10 families, it's 20 families. Whoa, okay, that's a lot of food.
You can do it, Mary. I know
No,
you
not
can do it.
Listen,
Single-handedly.
prepare meals for the kids at Cocoon House once a month. For 6 years, we've done that. So I know about cooking a lot of food. And I know that Kiwanis Club wants to do it, but when I told them about it, I think I said it was 10 families, so now I need to talk to them again. We're working on it. And apparently, step 2 was the Kiwanis Club said, yeah, we're gonna dare the Rotary Club to do the same. And we're gonna dare the Lions Club. So we've got a plan. Yes, we do.
Little friendly competition.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right. They're totally gonna take it on together, but I'm 20 families, because Kiwanis is not rich, but they are about kids. That's who they are. So I'll see what I can do to help push this along. Because I think that's a fabulous way for us to work together and have kids at the senior center. Those seniors, they love those kids, you know that they do. And you should see them and they look at that art in the senior center. They love it to pieces. They just think it's so fun. So, and music and animals, and all kinds of stuff. Okay, good. That's my only report. And actually I have to leave now because I have to go somewhere else. In Everett.
You have to
To the
leave?
the SCC meeting is in Everett.
Do you need to?
Started at 5
No,
o'clock.
okay,
She doesn't have to leave, but I do.
okay.
It started
Um,
half an hour.
Oh,
It-
before you leave, can I make, are we on
Please.
to board comments? We have board comments. Walk
Go ahead.
slowly, then I'll wait for board comments.
Okay,
Go ahead.
okay. Did you have a question that
Nope.
would come under the report from the city? So, well, we will list that as report from the city,
Yes,
officially,
very-
that's fine. I don't know that we really got a report from the city in the
No,
sense that what's
except-
happening in
no,
the city, but
right.
that's okay. You're here and
Right.
representing, and so that's good.
Yes.
Okay, we're good to go. If you need to leave, please, thank you so much for that.
Oh, sure.
We do appreciate your being here, so, yeah, be careful on the way out, so.
Yeah.
All right, well, we will be moving on to board comments. Was it something you wanted her to hear?
Yes.
Okay, please.
Okay, so I would just like to say that I was at that city council meeting where the Chapel Hill property was discussed. And I'd like to thank Mary and Steve Ewing for their positive comments and really representing what the library board had worked for so long. And what the city had proposed to the citizens for so long, and they were the only two that did. I know that there were others on the board that contemplated and went back and forth, but ultimately it was only Mary and Steve who spoke in favor of leaving that property to the citizens of Lake Stevens.
Right.
So it was very frustrating as somebody who sat through
Yes.
meeting after meeting with Snow Isle, with the city before, you know, in the past 10 years, that to then have that property just, I mean, it could be a Jiffy Lube, it could be anything there. And that was never the intent. So, it was a frustrating thing on behalf of Snow Isle to know that is, or not on behalf of Snow Isle, but on behalf of the board to know how much work we put into that. So I would like to say thank you to that. And I hope that in the future, there's a time that we can come back to the city and express that, you know, where that property really should, how that property really should be used. I think that there will be another time to do that before it's taken over. So thank you, Mary.
I hear you. I do. I listen.
Yeah, okay,
All right.
well, thank you.
On to Everett.
Excellent. So we have moved on to board comments. Just want to be sure that you have that listed there. Okay, good. So we want to continue. Thank you very much, Shaylin. I'm usually the only one who makes comments, so I'm glad that you did. Want to go around the table and absolutely offer the same. Andy, will you have anything?
Nothing I can think of at the moment.
Okay, okay. Melissa, do you have any comments for us tonight? Anything you want to share?
I would just say, first of all, that I think Antoinette is doing an amazing job running the library in Lake Stevens. The report was amazing, all the things that they're doing to engage our community. I think times are really tough right now for everybody. in so many ways. And I think that the idea of having monthly story time for families that can't do it during the week because of work and everything else, I think is amazing. I also will make another note about the city council. I have been blown away by the fact that they do really care about our community. I don't know any of them personally other than Mary in our meetings, but I have been really impressed that we do have a council that listens and that cares about our community. And I think that helps us as board members, that they do care. So those are my comments.
All right. Excellent. All right, Emily, do you have anything you want to share with us tonight? Okay, she does not. Leanne, I will, please, if you have anything you'd like to say, just because you're taking notes doesn't mean you can't say. So,
I can talk and write at the same time. Yeah.
there you go.
You know, I'm just also looking forward to that first shovelful of dirt being put into the property up there. So I'm looking forward to hearing that date and going and witnessing it in person. And I feel like we're moving forward slowly but surely. And I hope 2023 will be a great year for progress. It sounds like we've got so many wonderful programs happening at the library. I also, you know, I have older children, they're pretty much adults, so I'm not really hooked into that loop of story time and all those kinds of things that I did with my kids when they were younger. But I'm so glad that those programs are happening, because I know there's a huge, huge need for them in our community, and our community is becoming so diverse and so many new people moving in town. And those kinds of programs are so important for connecting people to their community and meeting new people and feeling like they belong here in Lake Stevens and have a connection beyond just, you know, sleeping here and then going to work somewhere else, or, you know, going to school here and then doing something else. These library programs are just so important for all our new families. So I'm also super impressed with all the programs. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you. All right. Well, I will just make a comment as well, that while I did not attend that city council meeting, I was aware of what they were going to be discussing, or was made aware of it, and wrote a letter. I guess it is in the public record, so I can comment. But I was commenting just as a citizen, not as chair of this board, that while I believe that it may well be that the city is doing exactly the right thing for the sake of the citizens by utilizing what land is available for these possibilities, the problem is that there hasn't been adequate communication about how that decision was made or how we came to that place. And so I just wondered if it would be better to at least hold off on making a decision until the public could participate in that a little bit more, because I felt like, you know, please convince me was what I was asking. So I too was a little bit disappointed that it wasn't delayed. But having said that, I will continue to participate. I don't know precisely what role we as library board members might make with regard to that particular piece of land, but originally it was all mixed together. So I'm just laying it out there for you. There was some disappointment. I admit to some confusion in some of the decisions that were made. It was, I think, 2 meetings ago, so that would make it 6 months ago, that we were first made aware of that change. And it was just kind of a, oh, so this is not happening like we thought. City Hall isn't going to be built there. Okay. So, so that being the case, you know, what does that mean? What's going to happen? I get it. Nobody wants their taxes raised to build a new city hall. But at the same time, there are other other questions about land use, and I understand there's only so much great land in this wonderful city of ours. So other people with higher pay grades, as they say, make those decisions. But I believe that the public should participate in that decision making as well. So that's my public comment there. Having said that, anything else that
Melissa's hand is up.
Melissa, okay, please.
Melissa Knapp.
Oh, Melissa Knack has a hand up. Okay. I'm not sure how we would handle that.
I know I'm not on the board. I just wanted to echo a comment. May I do that?
I believe you can. You've been a valued partner with us at every step along the way, especially with regard to the campaigns and such. So please do.
When Leanne mentioned that the library is where people sometimes go to become a part of this community, I wouldn't be doing anything I do in this community if it wasn't for the library. That's all I want to say.
Oh,
That's it.
okay. Wonderful. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thank
your
you for allowing me to echo that wonderful comment Leanne made.
There you go. All right. Well, having said that, any other questions, comments, or anything? Okay, well then, I will do this officially. Is there anyone that would like to make a motion for us to adjourn?
Yeah, you can make the motion. I know.
I motion that we adjourn. No, I can't see what time it is. So I motion.
Yes. Okay. Shaylin has made the motion. Andy, would you like to second that?
I would love to second.
You
that
would love to
motion.
second it. So all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and there we go. We've all said aye. So what is the time right now? It is 5:35. We're doing quite well. And want to thank you all once again. And if we have any other answers that you can pass along to us about the questions that came up, thank you so much. All right, with that, we call it.